everyone. Here we are in episode, I was going to write this down, episode 26 today. Ooh. And today is a special episode. Let us introduce ourselves. We are the Knitters Are Here. And today we are here at Harps and Thistles Yarn and Gift Emporium with Cindi, Michael, and Cuyahoga Falls. I'm so excited to have you here.
I'm so excited that you're here.
Thank you for letting us come. I know it makes your day a little longer by opening up early for us.
There's already been some yarn fondling over here, as you can see.
We've been here for at least 30 minutes. We could have started podcasting like right away, but we've been shopping around and getting our orders ahead. Yeah, lots of chatting. So, Cindi, tell us a little bit about your yarn history, how you started knitting, crocheting, or?
I learned to crochet when I was about 10.
Okay.
And my aunt taught me. We had gone to Colorado on vacation. My uncle was stationed there, and I had a string and I learned to pull, do a chain with the string. And it was just something to pass the time. And then when we got to my aunt and uncle, she said, "Oh, that's crochet. Here's a hook," and showed me how to go back. So then I crocheted forever, and about, I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, I got a book and taught myself to knit, because I didn't know anybody that knitted or crocheted my whole life. And so I taught myself to knit continental, because I was a crocheter, and I said, if I have to wrap my yarn this way, it's not going to happen, Yeah. So then I joined a group of women, the Akron Stitch and Bitch group, and that's when I started learning about yarn. Learning that there are different fibers, and it's not all the stuff you get at Joann's, So I started to really fall in love with yarn. And you guys know, look at your faces. Gosh. Yes, you guys know.
We know that journey.
It's not like, I just love yarn, and it doesn't matter if I'm going to make something.
It loves me back.
I know, right? So I lost my job. So I was working at this place, and I formed a little knitting group on one day a week during lunch,
Okay.
And people just kept saying, "Cindi, you should just open a yarn shop." And I'd say, "I can't just quit my job and open a shop, I said, "That would be wonderful, but I just can't do it." And then I lost my job.
Oh, gosh.
And the next day I was like, well, I guess I'm opening a yarn shop now. So honestly, I lost my job in April. And I knew I had to be open by September, because that's when the Yarn Discovery Tour is, right?
Okay.
So
how long ago was this?
2014.
2014. Okay.
Wow, I didn't realize you'd only been open that short a time.
Yeah, seven years.
Wow.
So I contacted, remember Judy from my sister's yarn shop? She was one of the ones that organized the Yarn Discovery Tour. I said, "I'm opening a shop," and and I want to be on the tour. And she goes, "Okay, where's it going to be?" I was like, "I don't know."
TBA.
Yeah. And she kept contacting me saying, where, I need your address for the passport. And I would say, I'm in negotiations for a lease. I was lying. I still had no idea.
And you still had to stock, too.
Like everything.
Yeah.
Like everything.
Oh my gosh.
I had never even
Cart before the horse. Wow.
Before, so I had no idea what I was doing. But I knew
faith in that would happen.
I just was laser focused on getting this yarn shop open before the Yarn Discovery Tour started. So I signed the lease for this place in July 17th. And we opened on August 26th.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And then the Yarn Discovery Tour started that Labor Day, so like 10 days later.
Yeah.
The Yarn Discovery Tour.
Wow.
So people would come in and say, "Do you take Discover?" And I'd say, "I don't know, stick it in there, let's see." It was quite a wild ride. My husband was a little bit nervous about this whole,
Oh, God.
you know, but it worked out. I'm still here.
That is
Yeah.
fantastic.
I could just imagine this total frenzy of activity.
Oh my gosh.
Did you have a lot of friends that like came and helped? And
Well, my Akron Stitch a Bitch group, it's since dissolved, but they came in and we had one night where we just shelved yarn. So I ordered the shelves from IKEA, and I ordered 12. They sent me 2.
Oh dear. Oh.
So I was afraid that I'd be selling yarn out of boxes.
Oh, my God.
How did you even figure out how to get the yarn?
I just started, like
how?
You know, that was my question. I was like, well, I guess I just like contact the yarn companies and say I need
Send
yarn.
me a rep? Or?
And they, like, some of them did say, here, this is our rep, you know.
And you
but-
need yarn like for yesterday?
Yeah. And then they just started
Whatever he's got in
sending
his
me-
trunk is fine.
Yeah.
We'll take it home.
Yes. It was crazy. My house was full of yarn because I had no
Yes.
address, you know, I
Yeah,
had
yeah.
no space yet. And I couldn't order the shelves until I knew how big my space was, because how do I know how many
Right,
shelves to order?
right.
It was just crazy.
And then when
It was
you
crazy.
did get the space, did you have to like paint and do all this stuff
Yes.
before?
Yes, my brother-in-law was a painter, so he came in and painted August 1st. I don't know why I remember that day, but August 1st he came in and painted. And yeah, it was just like, and then the other 10 shelves were delivered the Sunday before we opened. So my son, fortunately my daughter-in-law loves IKEA.
Oh,
So
yes,
my
yes.
son has a lot of experience putting IKEA stuff
yeah.
together. You
Good.
know, you know, you get
Those
that one little
things frustrate
Allen wrench.
necessary skill.
Yeah.
And
And then the bolt that doesn't fit in the hole
Right.
that's been cut.
so he came over and banged out 10 shelves for me, and we got them up and arranged and everything. And then we had boxes lined up all the way down through the middle of the shop. And I was like, well, I guess we'll just arrange it by weight. Like, I don't know. Like, this
I love it.
sounds good to me.
Right.
So we just,
I'm gonna put all the blue ones here and the green ones here.
And you knowing at this point there's fiber out there and the different kinds of fiber, so you knew which kind of companies you were wanting to go with, or was it kind of just that
Whoever will send
random,
me
like,
yarn.
So I knew for sure, like my 2 favorite yarns were Malabrigo and 3 Irish Girls. So I knew for sure we were having those 2 yarns. Other than
What a
that,
great
I
start
really
right there
didn't-
too.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Totally.
also in my Stitch Bitch group, there were some designers who were like published designers. I don't know, Andrea Sanchez and Meg Roque and Andy Smith were in that group. So they had worked with a lot of the indie dyers, and so I asked each one of them, if you could only knit with one yarn forever, what would it be?
Awesome.
Well, so we got in Zula, and we had Dragonfly, and I forget what the other one was that they said. But, so that helped me a lot to kind of, but then you also have to have the big, you know, the bigger companies
Yeah,
that
the
are not, you can't
workhorse.
just fill this big space up with indie dyed yarn
Yeah.
as much as
Right.
I would love to do that.
You do need the workhorse
So
yarns,
then,
yeah.
yes. So then we, and then speaking of workhorse yarn, we got in shepherd's wool, because that's such a great
Shepherd's
workhorse.
wool right here. I
Yes.
bought it in July
Yes.
for my Christmas
Yes,
sweater.
and it's a beautiful sweater. So, and then it was trial and error, because, you know, you don't know what your customers are going to like until they start coming in and buying stuff.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
so there are a lot of yarns that I started out with that I don't carry anymore. We kind of just phased them out, but
Nice.
yeah.
Tell us how you developed your logo and the name of your shop.
That's so, Harps and Thistles, my husband is Irish and I'm Scottish. So it's for the Irish harp and the Scottish thistle. And,
3 Scots.
oh wow, there we go. So I had a Pinterest board. We had been to Ireland and Scotland, and I had a Pinterest board that I named Harps and Thistles.
Oh, there you go.
And I thought that would be a really good name for a business.
Yes.
Well, it was, so it just kind of evolved. I had the name before I had the shop.
The hindsight of how everything fell into
Yeah.
place to
Irish
lay the
girls
path
being
for
your
you
main
here.
Right.
yarn.
Yes.
And then
you're-
we have 3 Scottish girls.
There we go. Yes. Go Scots.
And then you have a connection with the 3 Irish girls.
Right. Erin is my first cousin once removed. Yes. Her mother is my first cousin. She's in Duluth, Minnesota. So it was her family. Her dad was in the service and was stationed in Duluth, and that's where he met his wife, and that's where they ended up. So, but yeah, Erin's yarn is just incredible. I think that's what we're known for probably the most is the
Yes.
3 Irish girls yarn.
Yeah.
And you have quite a display of the 3 Irish
do,
girls. We'll
yeah.
make sure we get footage of
We-
that for
yeah.
sure. So you mentioned something about your shop is arranged by weight?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And once again, we'll
Yeah.
definitely get that footage because you've got a really nice, the shop's long,
Long,
it's
yeah.
open, you have a workspace. And is this where you have classes?
We do. We just started classes back up, I think in May. We started off slow with just 1 or 2 classes, and now we're pretty much back up to speed with the classes. We hired a new teacher, and we're kind of taking a pause for December because when it's time you're knitting for your family, you can't take a class. But
And so you do that all at the table at the front?
we do there, and we have another classroom in the basement.
Oh, okay.
Such a big
I
space.
didn't know.
So
and
we
then
can
this
rent
little
it.
seating area, what is this usually?
This is for us to gather and, hang out and work on our projects and share and, so Thursday evenings, we're open till 8 on Thursdays, so Thursday evenings, that's,
When you
this
usually
is
have your
usually-
sit knits.
But you know what, there are regulars that come in, they just make
When they have
themselves at
time.
home.
Yeah.
They just come in, make themselves a fix
Well, it is
themselves
a
a
little
cup of
cozy
coffee.
space here.
And
Yeah.
you're totally okay with that?
Oh, absolutely, yes.
Awesome.
That was one, so one of the things, when I was in the Akron Stitch and Bitch group, we couldn't find a place to have
Hang
our
out.
meetings,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know? And I think a lot of people struggle with that. We were at a wine bar, but it was too dark in there. We couldn't see our stitches.
Yeah.
And that's when I joined, was when they were at the wine bar.
Nothing to do with wine, but it was the lighting, right?
And then we moved to we moved to a coffee shop, and then they closed, and then we ended up at Panera, but you couldn't reserve space, so we had to
Right.
try to find a table where
Yeah.
we could all fit, and I thought, you know what, there needs to be a place where people can just go and hang out, and so that was one of my requirements when I opened. I had to have a space where we could just sit and, because knitting and crocheting, that's all about community. People want to work on their projects with other people, and it's just not fun when you're doing it by
By
yourself.
yourself, yeah.
And you have a
Well,
strong
you can
community here. Like looking at your webpage or your emails that you sent out, like you have a lot of people coming in for show and tell, and you just did sweater of the month, and there was
Right.
a lot of people involved there.
Yeah, we had 12 people finish a sweater in a month this year. That
Wow.
yes, I know.
That wouldn't have been me.
I was not one of them.
Yeah,
no. But,
Maybe Jen.
Jen would have been the 2 months.
Jen, yeah.
So, and we haven't started back up yet. At some point we will. But pre-COVID, we had PJ party nights. So we would
yes.
stay
Yeah.
open till 10 o'clock on a Friday night. And we had a food theme. So if you wanted to bring food, it was baked potato bar night, or it was wine, cheese, and chocolate night, or, whatever.
She's
And then we would do show and tell. And there was usually between, say, 25 to 50 people. We just never knew how many we were going to have. So I haven't felt like it was okay yet. The last one we had was in March of 2020.
Okay.
And I haven't felt like it was safe yet to bring that back, because we don't know. If there's 50 people here, that's too many people.
Yeah.
Right? Too close.
Well,
Yeah.
we're going to show you, I'm sure, during later visualization, but this is a nice, very long shop. and it's wide enough that people could mull around very easily.
This is one of the shops that my roommate has come with me to, and she's not a knitter, and she loves this shop.
Oh, that's so nice to hear.
Yeah, she loves it because she has a nice place that she can sit and do whatever it is that she's brought with her to do, and or just sit and you have the coffee and tea over here.
And I will
So-
say too, like, my husband likes to bring me here because the brewery's down the road.
There's a brewery right around
So
the
he
corner.
can
know
drop
about
me
that,
off. Yeah.
Yeah, your location is fantastic here in
Yes.
Cuyahoga Falls. There's so many shops.
They're
Right.
really
close.
revitalizing
Yeah.
this downtown.
They-
You
yeah.
guys are a
Cindi-
big
Great
part of it.
restaurants, yeah.
For those who might be traveling from a little further, because they're now encouraged to come to your shop, what else would you advise that they see down this way?
We, this is such a great small business community. They just reopened Front Street about 3 years ago, and we have clothing boutiques and gift shops. We have a popcorn shop, ice cream shop, and candy shop all in a row. There's
mention
a
great
there's a
restaurants.
dog bakery. There's a coffee shop.
There's a
great
nice
restaurants.
Italian
When I-
Yeah, there's an
Restaurant.
Italian
Yeah,
restaurant.
Leo's Italian
Leo's, that's
Social.
it.
And what's the
Yeah.
brewery that you
The
mentioned?
brewery is HiHO Brewing. We have the Burntwood. We have Flury's right here on the corner that has the best breakfast and lunch.
I will
dinner.
attest to that. Yes,
Oh
they
my
do.
gosh! the
Yeah.
How
food
late
is
are they open?
So just
We may
you have
that.
plenty of time. Yeah,
Yay.
hit Flury's before you go back. It's just this phenomenal small business community. Oh, there's another brewery at the other
HiHO.
end. HiHO, you're you know your beers.
HiHO, and then there's a frog something.
Hoppin' Frog.
Hoppin' Frog farther down.
Yeah, it's not here in the falls. It's
farther,
over. Yeah.
But it's still in the vicinity of, hey,
it
will you
is
drop
not
me
far.
off?
Yeah. Yes. This area also is a great husband waiting room. I came to find out shortly during the Yarn Discovery Tour, because a lot of husbands drive their wives around, so they're happy to have some place to sit down and
Get out of the car.
Yeah.
But if I recall, in being here, there are some male knitters that come in here.
Oh yeah, we have
Yeah,
we
and a
have a lot
teacher,
of
right?
male
There was
knitters.
a guy?
Ted doesn't teach for us anymore.
Okay.
He got a real job. He got a full-time job, and it just didn't. And then also, like, not all of my teachers came back. It's just been a thing. But yes, but Ted's awesome, and we do have a lot of male knitters, and it makes me so happy when I see, that it's evolving into not just, just women.
Yeah. Nice. Now, we have traveled to some yarn festivals, and we saw you at the Pittsburgh, I never get the name right.
Creative Arts
Arts
Festival.
Creative
Festival.
Arts Festival in Pittsburgh this year. Do you travel to any other festivals?
I just did the one in Ann Arbor in
Okay.
October.
Yeah. That's on our like wish
A
list.
wish list. Yeah.
Yeah,
Bucket
it was a lot of
list.
fun. We went up. My husband was my roadie for that one, and we had our little dog with us, and we just made it a weekend trip, and we went up there, and those are the only two. Oh, I did Vogue knitting in Columbus a couple years ago.
Yeah, right
that's
before
right.
everything hit.
Yes,
It was that
right,
fall.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was November, I think. Yeah.
How was that festival? I mean, was it pretty big? Because
Vogue?
the only one I have reference to is what I've seen on YouTube, in the sense of when they do videos of the one in New York, and
It was nothing like New York.
I'm like,
Nothing like
Okay.
New York. Yeah, no, New York is the one to
Wow.
go to. That one's, but no, it was fun. But no, it was nothing like New York.
and when people come into your shop and are looking for patterns and such like that, where do you usually reference them? What is your kind of go-to for that?
Well, we have a kiosk. We have a bookshelf over here that has a computer, and we call it our kiosk. And we just instantly take them over to Ravelry, and we
Yep.
try to find a pattern, and then go from there.
Nice, nice. And other than knitting and crocheting, do you do any other classes here? Any other fiber spinning or felting or anything like that?
We don't. We do have a dyeing workshop coming up with cornbread and honey.
Yep,
so
on the 15th
Tanya,
of January, right?
Yep. Oh, you did your homework.
I did my homework.
Yeah, so we are
She's
doing
the
a
teacher.
dyeing-
She always does her homework.
However, I have to admit, Darcy thought I was sleeping in the back of the car, but I was doing my homework on the way to school this
Like, are
morning.
you awake right there? What are you doing?
Actually, I went to Christmas with the Celts last night down at Akron Goodyear, so the Irish Celtic theme was
yeah.
going. But
didn't
I was
know
up
that.
way past my
No.
bedtime last night. So, and then recently you just did stuff your stockings. So today I think is the last day, or is tomorrow?
No, let's
Oh.
see. Today is day number 8. We have
8.
2 more days after today.
And tell us, I mean, I know by the time we get this podcast live, but I think this is such a brilliant thing. And after you tell us about that, go a little more your marketing, your emails, like where
Yeah.
does that come from? So start with soft
And
stuff.
where do you find the time?
Oh my God.
Her
I
emails
like-
are so amazing.
They are. They
Thanks.
really are.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I do spend a lot of time on the weekly newsletter.
I have to admit, sometimes I don't look at them because they're so tempting. Like I'm like, I can't, but then I open them because it's just like, I know she's gonna have something really awesome in there.
Oh,
so,
well, thank you.
yeah.
The stuff your stockings, we I don't know, we engaged with the marketing group, and this is one of the things that they recommended. But it's just a daily special. So you put the special up first thing in the morning, and the special is limited quantities. It's only for that day, and then when they're gone, they're gone.
Like
you know?
bakeries.
What kind of, give us an example of what kind of things you've had on that.
So day 1 was, I don't remember all the days, but day 1 was a knit ball pearl mug and a cocoa bomb. My granddaughter makes cocoa bombs, and they sold like crazy last year, so I thought, let's do those again. So a mug and a cocoa bomb,
I think I saw some cocoa bombs
Yeah,
over
they're
there. Those
over there.
it?
There are
Oh,
some
might
over
have to
there.
get one.
And then, it's usually some yarn and another thing,
Stitch
but
markers today, I think, right?
Today is Knit Craft Knittery yarn and stitch markers from Mab Elements. So it's locally sourced.
And you have a
Yeah,
trunk
local
show for
makers.
MAB right now, correct?
Yes, we do have a Mab trunk show going on currently. Yes.
And they make the glass jewelry kind of things that are shawl pins.
The
and-
strongest magnet I've ever
Yes,
seen in my
yes.
life.
I know, right?
Like you could put one side on this side of your head and one side on the other, and it would stick.
True.
It's that. I mean, you have to pull them apart
Yeah,
so you won't lose it.
Yeah, she covers it with fabric and leaves a little tab there so you can get it
Yes.
off, because you're right, they are super strong.
I think we actually
NASA
have
strength.
video of you trying to get them apart, and you couldn't. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to slide them apart
Yeah.
instead
Yeah.
of pulling
Yeah.
them. Yeah.
What's interesting though is when you're trying to display them and they're all sticking together.
Together.
and you're
Oh,
like
yeah,
trying
yeah.
to pull them
You get
apart.
one and then they-
yes.
Like very
Oh,
powerful.
Yes.
The other thing that I find really interesting about your shop is you give back to the community a lot.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit how that, was that part of your philosophy from the very beginning, so it's worked into your business profile and that's just what you do?
I just feel like it's important especially when you count on your community to support you, it's just very important to support your community back. So there's an organization locally called Closet of Caring, and they support that. They call them houseless, and so we have 3 bins under the shelf over there. One is for the toiletries and things that they need, and then one is for hats and gloves and mittens and things that will help to keep them warm in the winter. And then there's a third one. She meaning Kimberly, who is the organizer who runs Closet of Caring. She also supports the domestic violence project, and so the last one is for things for women, toiletries, what else? Bras, underwear, things like that
Yeah.
that they might need. So, so we've done a lot of different things. We did baby hats for Suma. They give a hand knit baby hat to every baby that's born there. So we were knitting baby hats for a while, and they were like, okay, we're good on baby hats. So yeah, it's just, I just feel like it's important to do whatever we can. We do have a holiday family that we're getting ready to support. Two, actually, we adopted 2 families this year, and Amazon made it easy. I'm not a huge fan of Amazon, but you can make a gift list, and people were able to just go on there, buy something, and it was sent directly to us, so it made it a lot easier this year. And then, you know, of course, a lot of them donated cash as well, so we're able to give 2 families a nice holiday this year, so that makes us, you know.
Well, I know every newsletter, there is a segment that is dedicated to supporting the community. Whether you're highlighting a new business that has just started up in the area, you're giving back to the community, you know, with those 2 projects. I know there was one that you did with the soap bags, like last year, I think that
Yeah,
was.
Hope Soap is one of our local businesses, and they support the houseless community. And for every bar of soap that you purchase, they give one to the homeless. So, so we were like, well, if you're giving away soap, how about if we make soap sacks to put the soap in for you to pass out, because that just makes it so much easier for them when they're trying to shower or something. It's already in. You don't have to look for a washcloth. It's right there. So
Very nice. Now, you're the one that does the email and the marketing and everything that you do here. Do you ever have time to knit for yourself?
I do. Sometimes I bring it to the shop with me, but I very seldom bring it in with me because I don't usually get time to sit down in the evenings at home. You know, I knit, but it takes a long time for me to finish.
I know,
a
I've seen you
project.
walking around knitting at the same time.
Yes. I don't have a lot of time to knit, but you know, I just enjoy my business so much that that it's okay, you know. I get to knit a little bit, but I'm surrounded by yarn all day.
All
this
day.
beautiful yarn.
Your whole
so-
day is
Crochet
knitting.
Instead? Do you crochet instead, or I do still crochet?
I do still crochet. So currently I have a really cool granny square blanket going on with little tiny crocheted granny squares made out of felted tweed. So it's going to be a beautiful blanket when it's done.
Gonna be
So
nice.
excited. And then, and my sweater in a month was the Hintermost sweater by
yes.
Bristol Ivy. Holy cow! So I had a contest in my newsletter. I was like, I can't decide which one. So here's 4 sweaters. You guys pick which sweater I'm going to make. Well, then I should I'm one of those that doesn't really
Read the pattern ahead of time.
at all.
I'm pointing
So
fingers.
we're starting. So it starts out with a long tail tubular cast on, and there's Fair Isle, and it's steeked. It's a cardigan. I was like, I thought I was going to be knitting back and forth.
Right.
And so then I'm like, holy cow! It's going to take me a year to knit this sweater. So it is what it is. It's beautiful. I'm loving it. I'm making it out of 3 Irish Girls yarn, so it'll be delicious to wear. So I'm past. I got both sleeves done, and I'm past the color work on the body. So I'm getting there.
Yeah.
I made some progress, anyways.
And then, you know, like me, it would sit there for a full year while I thought about steeking it. And I would end up just wearing it as a sweater.
I haven't. The only thing I've ever steeked is a bad oyster. Have you done the bad oyster?
No.
So the bad oyster is a pattern. It's a shawl that is. There's one on the very end over there. If you want to grab it. See on the far side.
Fringe?
Yes, with the fringe. No.
Other
On
side
the
of
other
the-
side, see the brown? Yes.
the fringe.
That's it. There's also a big one, gray one. Is that one there? Yes.
This is the bad oyster.
Yes, and this is the only thing I've ever steeked. I knitted both of these. This one's done in fingering, and I think that's what it calls for, is 1 skein of fingering weight. That one is bulky. But you knit this, so it starts out, you have to use double-pointed needles, and it starts out real tiny, and you're increasing every row. And it's called the Bad Oyster because there are no pearls.
That's funny.
But, so you're knitting it in the round, and it turns out to be this cone. And you have, there's a section in the middle, so you'll have like a knit through the back loop or something, and then it's been a while since and then you knit this 20 stitches, and then you do your increase. So that 20 stitches in the middle, when you're done, you cut the middle of those 20 stitches, and that's what makes your fringe. And if you look, you don't even have to tie it off. It's not even tied off.
Oh no,
because of
yeah,
that.
it's just looped right in there.
Yeah.
Who has the time to put that kind of fringe on there? But that's the steek.
Well, I'm even happier that I don't have to put all the fringe on there.
Darcy, maybe take that close to the camera.
Oh, yeah.
Let me have this.
Oh my gosh.
So that's a great introduction to steeking, though.
Yes, it was. It was a great, and so then now we did a knit along last year that, what's it called? I can't think of the name of it now. Woodlark. And it's a beautiful shawl, and you're supposed to steek it. Well, mine's done knitting, but I haven't steeked it yet, but I thought that will be my practice steeking for my sweater. So.
Oh my goodness.
So, I mean, I have done steeking, and, you know, there's certainly different ways of doing it, but one of the key things is you have to choose your yarn carefully. I mean, it has to be like
Something
wool.
not
It can't
too
be
slippy.
superwash. It has to be something that's going to stick together.
Right,
So that's
Like,
why
Yeah.
the Shetland sweaters with the Shetland wool,
right.
we're so big on steeking.
Yes. And the sweater that I'm knitting is superwash. So I'm going to do the crochet
That's what I've done
on
the
either side.
superwash.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. So I think that will hold it better in place.
So we know your shop's going to open here in about 5 minutes. Can you tell us your hours, times?
Sure. We're open Tuesdays. We're open Tuesday through Sunday. I had a little bit of a brain fart there. Tuesday through Sunday. We're closed on Mondays. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday we're open from 10 to 5. Thursday we stay open till 8, so if you want to come and hang out, and we do have classes on Thursday nights typically, and then this area is always open if somebody wants to come and work on their projects. And then Saturday we're open till 4, and Sunday we're open 11 to 3.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much for taking time
Absolutely,
and letting us
my
to come
pleasure.
in and chat
Thank you
with
guys for coming to see me.
Absolutely.
Enjoy it.
So please take time and come over to Cuyahoga Falls and visit Cindi at Harps Thistles Yarn and Gift Emporium in Cuyahoga Falls.
come and get it before I do.
That's
Yes, and that Irish Girl stuff is great. I've
Yes.
done
Oh, yeah.
a couple projects on that. So.
very lovely. And the names are fun too.
Yes, yes. I have been known to buy yarn because of the name. So.
Well, I wanted to show these real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Can I show
Yes,
them?
absolutely.
So these are some of their colors that I think are really cool. Now that
take them
one
up.
is knit with this color,
Oh.
with the gray, so you can see how it works up. So
But here are some of the
so
others.
She did several of them. The gray is Rocket Man, the white is Man in the Moon, and this one's Space Oddity, and then this is her Pride colorway. So,
And there's been some interesting patterns that have hit that have this kind of skein of yarn used that when you get to the color blip, you do a different stitch.
is it applied pooling?
Yeah,
Yeah,
so that-
one of the yarns that we had in our Stuff Your Stocking was an applied pooling that we had, cornbread and honey dye for us, specifically for the Stuff Your Stocking. So, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe and hit that thumbs up button, and find us again on our next adventure.
And have a great holiday season.
Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Merry Christmas.
All right.
Bye. And it's